So he's telling Sanatana Goswami is requesting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that please show your causeless mercy and tell me what my duty is. Because this is something which is very important to know what our duty is and follow it. If you are not able to realize, understand what is our real duty, then whole life you may be doing so many things, but you will still be left uh, agitated and no peace will be there. Hmm? And in order to understand what our duty is, we have to first of all understand what we are. That is the natural progression. First, you understand what you are, then you understand what your duty is, and then you execute them. Right? So these are the things which step by step you have to do. We don't even know who we are. Then how can you understand what our duty is? So that's why the next verse he is asking beautifully. Keyami kenamai jaratapatrai. Iha nahi jani ke mane hita hai.
Who am I? Why do the threefold miseries always give me trouble? If I do not know this, how can I be benefited?
This is a very important thing. Who am I? Keyami. And then once you understand who you are, I mean, once you question who you are, the next natural question will be, why am I getting all these miseries? What is the cause of these miseries? That is,
Prabhuji, there is lot of echo. I'm not able to hear anything.
that's I think Mataji's side there's some background, so he's muted. Hmm. So we have to this purport. Let's read. Who would like to read this purport?
May I, Prabhuji?
Please, yeah, go ahead. One or two purport. Prabhu,
Purport by
చూపెట్టండి.
Srila, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The threefold miseries are miseries arising from the body and the mind, miseries arising from dealings with other living entities, and miseries arising from natural disturbances. Sometimes we suffer bodily when we are attacked by fever, and sometimes we suffer mentally when a close relative dies. Other living entities also cause us misery. There are living entities born of human embryo, of eggs, perspiration, and vegetation. Miserable conditions brought about by natural catastrophes are controlled by the higher demigods. There may be severe cold or thunderbolts, or a person may be haunted by ghosts. These threefold miseries are always before us, and they entrap us in a dangerous situation. Padam padam yat vipadam. There is danger in every step of life. Jai.
See, this is a beautiful point because the threefold miseries constantly disturb us, and Prabhupada is given some very beautiful examples here. We suffer bodily, we suffer mentally, hmm, and other living entities like Adi Bhautika, they are also giving us miseries. Hmm. And one of the important thing is that uh, everybody is suffering. It's not just we alone. Hmm. So many people are telling today that uh, they are saying that they are not able to join. Sankalpati Prabhu joined. First he said not able to join, but I can see Sankalpati Prabhu here. I don't know what is the problem today. Can we all come? So that which link you are telling Prabhu, Sankalpati Prabhu? There are two links. One is the tiny CC which are, another is the long link. Please tell devotees to click on the long link. Tiny CC will be not working. Whatever is the problem, I don't know. Just tell them clearly. Okay, 103. Let's read 103 now. साध्य साधन तत्व पूछते न जानी कृपा करी सब तत्व कहात आपने. Translation.
Prabhuji, let somebody else read. I have a
Yeah.
background problem.
Yeah, no problem. Someone else wants to take it up. Amavati Mataji, please go ahead. Please read.
103 Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Actually, I do not know how to inquire about the goal of life and the process for obtaining it. Being merciful upon me, please explain all these truths.
See, first of all, he's saying, I don't know what my duty is. I don't know what the goal of life is. I don't know how to inquire about the goal of life also. So, this is all beautiful thing, because Chaitanya, Sanatana Goswami already is discussing Bhagavatam and he is enjoying. So, he doesn't have to really worry about the thing. But then, he is really merciful to all the living entities who will eventually come to this point that we don't know how to inquire also, what to inquire also, what is our duty also. We don't know anything. And on top of it, we don't have anybody who will answer these problems. This purpose. That is a very important thing also to note. It's very important. Unless and until we realize the precarious situation we are in, we don't know that we are in miserable condition. And when we know that we are in the miserable condition, we don't know the solution. Why we are suffering, we don't know. And what is the solution, we don't know. We only know that we are suffering. So that is when we really have to be very grateful for the our spiritual preceptors or predecessors, our spiritual masters, our the other Vaishnavas. They all are so merciful that they have given everything step by step. Why you are suffering, how to know what, how to inquire, what to inquire, and how to follow the answers. Everything step by step they are giving. And you will see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be answering all these questions so beautifully in the coming slokas. So let's read the next sloka now. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is beginning to answer. So please, from here on, please read the translation, and then when the important verses come, I will tell you. Because many important verses are there in this section. So verse number 104, translation. Who was reading?
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Lord Krishna has bestowed his full mercy upon you, so that all these things are known to you. For you, the threefold miseries certainly do not exist.
So it is a very interesting point here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, for you there is no threefold miseries. So Gaura Prabhu, you zoom the text a little bit. Some devotees might find it difficult to read small. Yeah. So the thing is, actually, Sanatana Goswami is not experiencing any uh, uh, mystery as such, because he is actually already in Krishna consciousness. When we are in Krishna consciousness, we will be not feeling the material pains as normally people do. We will not be in that anxiety. So, what is the anxiety that Sanatana Goswami is feeling? He's actually feeling the pains of others. That is what he's exhibiting here. But because of humility, they will not see it as others' pains. I am happy, everybody else is suffering. A humble devotee will never say, I am the only happy person, everybody else is suffering. They may say, in a humble mood, that because of this Krishna consciousness, I am able to say I'm saved from this, but not out of pride. They will say that I am the only person happy, everybody else is suffering. So, like that, people will not say. They will not speak. So, Chandra Prabhu, happy to see you. You tried that link again and it worked, Prabhu?
Prabhuji, what happened is I'm now connected with my iPhone because I was trying to connect with iPad. I couldn't. I tried
Oh.
completely 3 times, it couldn't. So I just connected with my iPhone. Use the link. I just linked the saved everything. I'm putting same thing, but nothing is happening. So I said, I don't know.
Sometimes
Something-
it can be, but if all like yesterday, you connected from your iPad, no?
I always connect from iPad, but today I even tried it 3 times. It couldn't. Then I said, no, let me try this iPhone straight away, and then I got it.
These things we don't know, Prabhu. Sometimes yes.
There are some other devotees also not able to connect because of this problem. I first connected with phone, it was not connecting. When I now connected with PC, now it is getting connected.
To PC it is connecting. Huh? You can tell devotees in the group, Prabhu. I know there is Mataji, Sandhya Mataji. Kansalpati Prabhu is there already. Sandhya Mataji is having some issues. Maybe somebody can tell her offline. And,
Okay.
we didn't miss much, Sachendra Prabhu. We were reading some few slokas only. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's answers we are reading. The questions we read, we just did a recap of the questions by Sanatana Goswami. Now,
Right.
number 105. Please, can you read the translation?
Since you possess Lord Krishna's,
Yes.
Krishna's potency, you certainly know these things. However, it is the nature of a sadhu to inquire. Although he knows these things, the sadhu inquires for the sake of strictness.
So, strictness is a very interesting thing. Prabhupada says here it is strictness. And daridya lagi. Strictness means not letting loose of our the intensity. Sometimes what happens is we become a little relaxed, careless in our attitude. So sometimes we say, okay, we'll do later, bhakti, later devotional service, or we can do chanting later. Those kind of things are there even after so many years of our pursuing this path. And those kind of things, sometimes you may say that sometimes we may say that, oh, I have heard all these things many times. What is the point? There is no need for connecting. There is no need to have the repeated reading of the same thing. Like sometimes you get this boredom and all comes into play. And these are all little weeds in our bhakti, in our sadhana. So that is why Prabhupada, sorry, Chaitanya was saying this very nicely that the sadhu inquires for the sake of strictness. So we have to be strict with ourselves. We have to be strict with ourselves. When we are strict in our bhakti, strict in our sadhana, then we will say that, oh, I know this concept already. I don't have to ask this question to this speaker, this devotee. That will not come. Say, you will say that, yes, I know, I've heard it, but I have full faith in that answer. But for the sake of what is that word? Refreshing my conviction, reinstating my conviction. Let me ask that question again, and I will get the blessings of the Krishna through the devotee. So that is a very important thing. Why we ask these questions? It's for our own sake. We never think that I have done enough bhakti, I am safe. I don't have to worry about it. So let's read the next one, 106.
Those who are eager to awaken their spiritual consciousness and who thus have unflinching, undeviated intelligence certainly attain the desired goal of life very soon.
So this is another important thing. Why they ask these questions? They ask these questions because they are eager to awaken their spiritual consciousness. Very important. We have to awaken every day. We have to awaken. It's not just that, oh, I become devotee 20 years ago. I don't have to do anything. No, every single day we have to awaken. That's why our spiritual master Maharaj Maharaj used to say this thing that every day you have to initiate yourself. Every day you have to initiate yourself. Means when you do Mangalarti, it is an initiation. When you do deity seva, it is initiation. When you do chanting, it is initiation. When you read Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavatam, such items like this, it's initiation. We have to initiate. Initiate in the sense, oh, how can we initiate ourselves? No, we are initiated by the spiritual master. But that is not enough. Once initiation is not enough. Every single day we have to keep initiating. So these are all the process through which our initiation is rejuvenated. It's a very nice point. Let's read 107.
You are fit to propagate the cult of devotional service. Therefore, gradually hear all the truths about it from me. I shall tell you about them.
So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling you are fit. Yogya Patra, how to me. Bhakti Pravartite. It's the word is very interesting. Pravartite. Pravarta. Pravartanam, we say, is spreading or distributing, propagating. So there is a big difference between the way we understand the word preaching and propagating. Right here, Chaitanya Prabhu is telling Sanatana Goswami that you propagate. You're a fit person for propagating the cult of devotional service. Why it is so? First point is he exhibited extreme renunciation. He exhibited inconceivable renunciation, detachment and renunciation. And that was very nicely revealed in those pastime of Sanatana Goswami all the way coming to meet Chaitanya Bhagavan, even after meeting Chaitanya. Second thing is he is not having any big thing about himself. I do Bhagavatam, I do this, I do that. I am a minister, I was a minister. None of those things were there in his mind. He was very clear. He was very clear, and he was the way he is representing himself is not just fake humility, genuine humility. He's extremely humble about himself. And then he's asking the right questions to the right person. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So this is how we have to appreciate. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally sees all these things. It's not about the question that we ask. It's the mood with which we ask the question also matters. Sometimes the mood can be one of argumentation or challenging mood. That will not help. Actually, that will not help either ourselves or helping others in that way. So the mood should be of humble mood and one of eager and inquisitive nature. We have to be eager and inquisitive in our bhakti, in our questions. So I saw Gaurav Prabhu asking, raising your hand. Any points to share, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, one small point. I mean, I was drawing a parallel of this with the Bhagavad Gita. I mean, Krishna also says, I'm telling you these things because you are my dear friend and a devotee. So, I mean, a similar kind
So
of
why does he
question.
do that? Why does he do? What is the thing that attracted him? Attracted Arjuna to Krishna. I mean, Arjuna to Krishna.
I mean, because of his humility, Prabhuji, he
What
actually
was that
was
humility?
Karpanya dosha pahata svabhava. I mean, he actually surrendered in the second chapter and he said, you please let me know what is the right way and the right path for me is. So from there, Krishna actually starts telling him these things.
Yeah. And that is one thing. And as Piyush Prabhu is telling, non-envious nature is also a very important quality. Actually, that is one point, Prabhu. That humility, right? I'm very I'm downtrodden. I'm helpless. I have nothing. I am a foolish person. I'm ignorant, etc. etc. They feel even after achieving so many things. Devahuti says the same thing. You feel this kind of a thing repeated in many places in our Shastra. Now, but apart from that, there is one other important thing, Prabhu. That is feeling compassion towards others. Because Arjuna, if he simply said, I am ignorant, I am a fool, please give me the knowledge, Krishna would not have given. But what really attracted Krishna towards Arjuna to give that knowledge is because uh, Arjuna is saying that I don't want to kill these people, Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna. They may be having an inimitable attitude towards me, but I don't want to have it. I am willing to give the whole land and I am willing to go and beg. I don't have any problem in going and leaving my Kshatriya duty and going and begging. That's a very beautiful shloka. Can you take this that shloka, Prabhu, 2.6 in Bhagavad Gita? And you will see why Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, because of that important quality. That even to those who are giving us trouble, for them also he is asking for Krishna to show some blessing, to show his mercy. You come down, Nachaita Vidmaha Katarano Gariyo Yadva Jayema Yadivano Jayayu Yaneva Hatvana Jiji Vishamas Evastita Prabhukhe Dhartarashtra. You come down, Prabhu. See, this is the translation. Not we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battle. This is the interesting point. If we killed the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. What does that mean? What does this mean? Sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Why he says we should not care to live? They are so inimical that they are standing in front of each other, the battlefield, waiting to kill, eager to kill, fight or kill each other, either kill or die. But here he is saying, if you kill to the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Duryodhana is not thinking like this. But Arjuna is thinking like this.
Was Arjuna seeing Duryodhana or the Kauravas not as a cause for misfortune, but as the reason for their dependence on Krishna? Was he seeing in that way at them?
Reason for what?
Instead of cause of misfortunes that they are suffering, was Arjuna seeing them as a cause of more dependency on Krishna? Was he seeing them in that perspective?
No, not dependency on Krishna. Actually, what Arjuna is telling is that he may consider me as an enemy, consider us Pandavas as enemy. But what we want is tomorrow when we win, we need to share our this news of some achievement or accomplishment or win with somebody. So he still has this hope that they are at the end of the day they are our brothers, cousin brothers. So when our not only brothers, even Bhishma Dev, the Dronacharya, everybody. So what he is telling here is now specifically he talks about Dhritarashtra. Before this he is talking about Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya and all. It is easy to be loving towards someone who is already loving you, but it is very difficult to love someone who is hating you. And that is an important qualification of a devotee who is chosen by Krishna to give the transcendental knowledge. Here, till this point, Krishna doesn't speak. He is before this verse only is talking about Dronacharya, Bhishma Dev, all these people. They are my guru, my Pitamaha. How can I kill them, etc., etc. But here he is coming to this point that I want the sons of Dhritarashtra also to be alive. All these 100 people. The same people who disrobed my wife, the same people who plan to kill us, and so much envious of us. But I want them to be alive so that I can share my happiness with them. In other words, when I am suffering, they will feel the pain. When I am happy, if I share my feelings with them, who else will I share my victories and achievements to? So basically what he's telling is that My sole purpose of existence is that they all should be alive. If they are all not alive, then there's no meaning to my existence. What will I do? I don't really have a reason to live. So that is the important thing that he's telling here. We should not care to live. This is a very beautiful phrase here. So can we expand? Prabhupada expanded beautifully in the purport. Can you read the purport?
Arjuna did not know whether he should fight and risk unnecessary violence. All the fighting is the duty of the Kshatriyas, or whether he should refrain and live by begging. If he did not conquer the enemy, begging would be his only means of subsistence. Nor was there certainty of victory, because either side might emerge victorious. Even if victory awaited them and their cause was justified, still, if the sons of Dhritarashtra died in the battle, it would be very difficult to live in their absence. Under the circumstances, that would be another kind of defeat for them.
So you
All
see,
these
very difficult to live in their absence. In other words, he is still loving them. Even though Duryodhana and people does not love him and the Pandavas, they want to be with them. That is the beauty of the kindness of the devotees.
All these considerations by Arjuna definitely proved that not only was he a great devotee of the Lord, but he was also highly enlightened and had complete control over his mind and senses. His
So it's
desire to
not
live
enough.
by the
It's not enough to say that, oh, I am chanting Krishna's names, I am Krishna's devotee. But that should translate into how we are relating to all these other people. Even they may hate us, but it's a very, very subtle, very difficult, and very difficult thing to do. That to love someone who is hating us, and that's what Arjuna is doing here. And that is how all the great personalities like Devabhuti, Sanatana Goswami, they all ask these questions for on behalf of people who don't even care for them. Prabhupada went to the West, nobody cared for him. Who cared for a old Bengali person who's coming there and coming with nothing in his pocket? You know, if somebody comes with some money, then they may do some business and it will be good for the country. But here is a beggar who is not having anything and is coming here. What will we do? So, like that, people would have done. But now you see, so many people get employment opportunity by Masya Prabhupada. That is because they were thinking of those people's well-being who didn't even care to know who these people are, who are caring for my well-being. That is the ultimate thing about devotional, about the path, the bhakti marg. It's very difficult, very difficult. Spiritual masters have the most difficult job to do because they have to care for those people who don't care for them. And if at all they come to them, that will be for their benefit or well-being only. They have some problem and they want to do. That's all. Otherwise, they have no reason to come to the spiritual master. It's a very subtle and sublime quality which the pure devotees carry, and we have to first of all appreciate it. And then, if you try to find ways to imbibe it in whatever little drops that we can, the devotional service will not taste will not taste sweet unless and until we have this transcendental quality of loving even those who hate us. That is what is called Ajata Sattva. And Arjuna is exhibiting this quality here. And only after this, Krishna starts speaking. You see. Until this point, Krishna doesn't start the knowledge. One side, yes, he accepted him as a spiritual master and as a disciple. That is fine. But that's not enough. Beyond that, Krishna wants this thing also to come out. You are happy for Dronacharya, Bhishmadev, Kripacharya and all. Because they are always loving you. They are always your well-wisher. But can you be a well-wisher for those who are your enemy also? Or who don't care for you, who are neglectful of you? So they don't care for you also. They don't even know who you are. In this world, all the spiritual masters and acharyas, Their names have been sung, their glories have been sung beyond the limits of time because of this quality. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, why should they just wear some coffin and take a kamandal only and then go and sit in under a tree and write all these great scriptures? They had so many people who could have given all the facilities. Why would Prabhupada have to sit in that small room in Radha Damodar Mandir and write all these transcendental scripture? Because they are wishing, they are feeling compassionate for even those who are coming in the future generations also. Not only those who are their contemporaries are in that particular generation. That is why 50, 60 years are already gone from Prabhupada's time I'm telling. But if you take from Chaitanya Prabhu's time, it is even more 500 years. That's 500%. Still the path is going on. How it is possible? Because of this important quality that is carried by the pure devotees. What is that important quality? That you will wish well for even those who hate you or who neglect you. Very difficult it is. I'm telling this, but I know how much I myself am struggling with that, imbibing that particular quality. Even after reading Shastras and telling so much or whatever, it's very, very difficult. It doesn't come so easily. So please read and continue and complete this purport, Prabhu. Wonderful purport. Yes.
His desire to
Oh,
live by
Mataji,
begging.
sorry.
His desire to live by begging, although he was born in the royal household, is another sign of detachment.
See, he's saying, if the Duryodhana is not willing to give even that 5 houses, I am willing to go by begging also to go and beg. To that extent, he was willing to give up because he didn't have any attraction or attachment like Duryodhana on this uh, land and Rajya and all. Please continue.
He was truly virtuous, as these qualities, combined with his faith in the words of the instruction of Sri Krishna, his spiritual master, indicate. It is concluded that Arjuna was quite fit
So
for
two things
liberation.
here. Two things here. One is faith in the words of Krishna. He has complete faith in the words of Krishna. That is the first and foremost quality of a disciple. But the second quality is even more important. He was truly virtuous as these qualities. What is that quality? Quality of feeling, wishing good for even those who wish bad for you. Para dukkha dukhi and para sukha sukhi. And that person maybe you are dukkha sukhi and sukha dukhi. But you don't worry about it. You be his sukha sukhi and dukkha dukhi. Right? So that is what is called virtue. Virtue versus vice we call, no? Virtue, Dharmaraj, I mean, Yudhishthira Maharaj possessed all these qualities. That is why he is called Dharmaraj. Please read further.
Unless the senses are controlled, there is no chance of elevation to the platform of knowledge, and without knowledge and devotion, there is no chance of liberation. Arjuna was competent in all these attributes, over and above his enormous attributes in his material relationships.
His enormous attributes in his material relationships is the thing that indicates his feeling towards Duryodhana and the other Dhritarashtra's. Enormous attributes in his material relationships. Material relationship means their, say, the relatives or whatever. The relationship is material only from Duryodhana's point of view, not from Arjuna's point of view. Because Duryodhana is the one who is thinking them as enemy. Arjuna is seeing him as still as brother only. So that is the thing about enormous attributes. Normally, unless you are a wide-hearted personality, it is not possible to carry this enormous attribute. See, this is a very important purport, very important verse and purport to indicate the qualities of a pure devotee of Krishna, the pure-hearted sadhus of Krishna. It is not enough just to say, "Oh, I got chased for the holy names." Uh, uh, with taste for the holy names, I just got taste for Bhagavatam. I can do this, I can do preaching, I can sing nice kirtans. That is all not enormous attributes. Enormous attributes is when somebody is agitated with you, are you approaching him calmly? Or you are also shouting at that person in anger? If somebody is envious of you, are you disturbed by it? Or are you feeling compassionate towards that person? You know, this is where that pratikar is very important thing to avoid. We discussed this in our Pune programs quite a few times. This pratikar thing kept coming because we were in the Chitraketu chapters in some of the programs, right? So this pratikar means counteraction. Normally, what we do when we counteract, we counteract to that person. That person is shouting and screaming at you. You also do that same thing in return. But we do that only for those whom we think that we can counteract. Say suppose a policeman or a judge or somebody they shout at you. You don't immediately shout back at them because they are much more powerful than us, right? So we will tone down ourselves. But at home, if somebody who is dependent on us, we will be more than happy to shout at them, scream at them, whatever. So Maharaj always used to say this one thing that we also become anger. Also, we can exhibit only to those who cannot retaliate to that anger. We cannot go and shout at a policeman or a more authority in the hospital. We cannot shout at a doctor. We know that that person is not doing well, but then still we are helpless, right? Well, because we are worried if I shout at him, something he will do, which will be even more detrimental. So that is how our counteraction thing is. When we try to say retaliate to somebody. But you see one thing, in such cases, what we do is that when we are not able to retaliate or counteract to that person, we do a passive retaliation. What do? We go and talk to somebody bad about them, or not bad. I mean, at least we will express our experience, bad experience. Oh, I did like this. That person did like this. You know what? This happened. That happened. All these things we will tell from our perspective to get some what do you call that as? So some support. If that person may not be having the strength or the will to go and fight with that aggressor who kind of is aggressive with us or harm them. But somehow or other we want to extinguish our thing. This is passive pratikar. We are not able to do direct pratikar to that person. So we go and tell so many people that you know what has happened, you know what has happened, you know what he did like this, you know what he did like this. So many such things keep coming in our life. We try to do this. Little bit we will get some passive, we will be pacified a bit. But then that is also passive pratikar only. Why would you want to do that? We don't have to do that at all. Because Krishna is there, he knows everything. Why should we tell somebody that we can tell, but we can tell with an attitude of asking, what should I have been doing? What should I be doing in this kind of a situation? So you tell the situation as a matter of fact, it's an information, and say that, see, I did like this. We should be very frank. We should not just say our right thing and others' bad things. We should say that, see, I did like this, but from your point of view, can I do? Could I have done anything better? That is the way of learning. So that is not pratikar. That is not pratikriya. So that way, a place where we are trying to learn from this place. Otherwise, what happens? We do complaint because we just want somebody to hear us out. Most of the time, psychiatrists and psychologists, whatever they are worried. They are disturbed because people come only to dump their thoughts on them. They don't want to hear. So Arjuna also did the same thing. Krishna is the best psychiatrist. Krishna was Arjuna was throwing all the things in his mind to Krishna. Krishna patiently listened. And when we came to this point, he said, okay, now you are ready to hear me. So, a willingness to learn, willingness to be open-minded and understand that where I did wrong, where I went wrong, or how do I tackle the situation. Even if I'm not wrong, if the other person is not able to change, how do I tackle the situation? These are all the things that we should ask for spiritual master. And you can see Sanatana Goswami or any of them, like Devahuti Mata, they don't complain anybody else around. They just, I am suffering because of my senses and mind. I need to fix myself first. Then we are qualified to hear from Krishna or our spiritual master. Then whatever we are getting will go in a better in a better way. I see a couple of questions from Srila Mataji. How do you make the relationship with relatives spiritual? The only way you can do is from your end, you should see it as a spiritual relationship. They may see your externals, they may see how much you are earning, how big your flat is, which thing, where you know, how are your children studying, and all those things they will ask. But from your side, you should only see them as as suffering souls inside the body. They may be covered by the three modes, but we should be like the Prithvi. They may be trying to harm you in a certain way. Oh, you are doing all these things all right, but then you are not taking care of your family. So you are doing all these things all right, but you are not doing your job properly. Do you think that Krishna will come and feed you? They may question like that. All these things they may question. But from your side, you don't be judgmental to them. You just see them as someone who is also suffering. And like how Arjuna is seeing Duryodhana, same way we should also see others. That without being agitated, without retaliating to their envy, everybody be envious of us. There is no way you can see people to be loving with us or caring for us. Don't expect love and care in this world, especially in the close relative or even distant away. You may go, everybody is going to these festivals, functions, and all these things. All of them are trying to just show off what they have. You know, your jewels are more than mine. You have a bigger thing than mine. You are coming in a bigger car than me. Oh, this person celebrated their wedding and this their father's Shasha Shata, they know whatever in a bigger way. All those kind of things. It's just to show off what they're having. So from our side, we should just be simple and humble and not having any judgmental attitude. Just see how we can help such people in a certain way. Don't try to go and preach to them, because the moment you start preaching, they will want to somehow or other find fault in you. When people are envious of us, we should just be loving with them and just smile. And smile is the first way to become to make the relationship good. And then you just ask them lovingly what they are doing, how are they doing. That's it. And come out. You may not be able to follow this 100% all the time, but to whatever extent we can do, this it is well and good. And this next question, Mataji is asking, what are other right ways of getting pacified? I don't know what this means. Getting pacified. Can you clarify that question, Mataji? I don't know in what context we're asking.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you said by going and telling someone or complaining to them, we get pacified. This is very true. We do get pacified. Even you said silent.
Temporary pacification. It is we get temporary pacification.
So how
But
do we get?
I will tell you, when you see that person,
we don't do silent retaliation.
Hold on. I'm not able to hear. See, that is temporary pacification. It is very temporary pacification. Why? Because when you see that the person to whom you complain about the other person, they may empathize with you or they may not tell anything. But then after some time you will see that the person about whom you complained, if they are friendly with this person, then your pacification will be gone. You will be thinking, hey, you heard so much and now you are talking nicely with that person. Which means you ideally when I complain about somebody to you, I expect you to also become enemy with that person, isn't it? To have the same feeling about that person, correct?
Yes.
So that's how, to that extent only the specification is stand. That's what I wanted to convey. So now you are explaining your other parts. Please tell me.
So how do
Other
we
way.
get pacified? We can't counteract. We can't silent contract also. Then how do we
Yeah.
get pacified, Prabhuji?
The best way of being pacified is to see Krishna's hand in them. See them as Krishna's agents. When we don't bring Krishna into that scene at all, we will never be pacified. The best way to be pacified is to bring Krishna into the scene. Without Krishna's sanction, these people would not have done it. They would not have complained or criticized me. So Krishna has something to do with this thing. Whatever others are telling about me doesn't mean that I am that. Krishna and Guru knows. So we have to not feel too much depressed why this person is complaining about me, why he is envious of me, why she is envious of me, why she is always criticizing me. If we keep on thinking like that, it means we are expecting that expectation will not work. So the best way is to shut off all those noises and let Krishna speak. Let spiritual master speak. That is why hearing from the spiritual master or our senior Vaishnavas about the transcendental subject matter, who have surpassed those situations, who have crossed the situations in their life too. And how did they surpass? By bringing Krishna into their life. So somehow or other, see Krishna's hand in the whole situation. When I complained about some similar situations to Maharaj, I was still doing the same thing. Pratikar is passive pratikar. So by complaining, by expressing my difficulty to Maharaj, and Maharaj listened to me. Then he told me very nicely that see, this person is not the actual doer of creator of your family. He is only an agent. He is bringing what Krishna is sanctioning him to do. He can't do anything without Krishna's sanction. Always remember this one thing. Nobody can harm you without Krishna's permission. So whatever you want to do, go and tell Krishna. So now the next question is, how can Krishna be so merciless with us? We are trying to love him and do some devotion to him, whatever, in whatever limitation we have. Still, why Krishna is merciless to me? Why he is pushing all these things? Why he is creating all this situation where people are hating me, people are not loving me. I am trying to help them, but they are not appreciating their endeavors. This is all because we are still in the bodily conception. We are still in the bodily conception. We are still expecting somebody that this person has to do this to me, that person has to do this to me. We are separating Krishna from these people. Krishna has his own ways to teach us. We have to be, at the end of the day, we should fly above the clouds. These clouds are all like the criticisms. If you are under the clouds, you need to hide the vision of Krishna. Krishna is the sun. All these vyatanas, they are all like the clouds. Right? So these clouds are also created by Krishna only. So Krishna only allowed these people to do all these things. So when you fly above the clouds, like how the eagle is flying, when you fly above the clouds, you don't have any disturbance at all. You can see the light very clearly. I might say the sunlight more clearly. You see? So our idea should not be to understand why so and so person is doing like this, why so and so person is speaking like this. No. They are speaking because ultimately at the end of the day it is all for our purification. So the strictness which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking about here, we have to also apply in our space. Does that help, Mataji? Always see Krishna's hand. That is the main thing. That's the best way to be perceived. And second thing is, remember that he is doing it for our good only. First thing is see Krishna's hand in everything. Second thing is be convinced that everything he is doing for our good only.
Prabhuji,
Hmm.
I wanted to ask something.
Yes,
See,
Prabhu.
yesterday I was actually talking to, we are talking of other people. I was actually talking to my youngest daughter. And
Okay.
as you are aware that, I even told you that my youngest daughter is basically the one who would tell me anything, she will not care that I'm the father or something. So yesterday she told me that, what is the point of doing devotional service when you're always in anxiety? So because what had happened, because I'm staying alone, so it's quite difficult, like I'm going through a lot of difficulty. So, like yesterday, we were talking about something, and then, she said, no, you're always in anxiety, always in anxiety. So I kept quiet. I said, I know. And for almost all 1 hour, she spoke so much, and I was just thinking that I kept quiet throughout. But now, when what you are talking is actually making a lot of sense. I'm thinking that, yes, okay, whatever what she was saying is, it couldn't be without Krishna's wish. She couldn't have done that. So, Prabhuji, I was so disturbed at that time. But I think because she was telling me, why you always in anxiety? I was thinking, am I in anxiety? She said, from your face, it is seen that you're always in anxiety. So I was wondering that, okay, she can see my face and she says I'm in anxiety. So I said, okay. I just kept quiet. But I'm just thinking, loudly that why? And it's nobody else, nobody outside, my own daughter. Oh. So I was just thinking, I don't know what is.
When was that before? What time was it, Prabhu? Was it before our evening class or after that?
No, you see, she called me almost at 9:30 at night, and then for
Your
almost
time,
1 hour, and
your
for
time,
almost 1 hour, she was actually firing me. I don't know. I was just keeping quiet. It was like, I was
Sometimes they
thinking,
do out
what to
of
do now.
sometimes they do out of love, Prabhu. Especially daughters of the. I mean, when the children they see their fathers, mothers, they're growing, and they will also have their anxiety. But the thing is, sometimes what happens, no, Prabhu, in this world, people don't know how to express their love. Also, they know well how to express their envy, but they don't know how to express their love.
Yeah, because you see, Prabhuji, the thing is, there's so much difference. As you know, I've got 3 daughters. The other 2 are completely different. They will never speak to me like that. But this one, oh my God! And yesterday, she keeps on firing me. I said, I don't know. I said, I just kept quiet. But I was thinking that why,
Yeah. Just see it as it is just as a passing thing, Prabhu. So, when you see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also firing so many people, so just take it as Krishna's
Yeah.
arrangement. If somebody is chastising it, it becomes chaste. Chastisement happens, that's why it becomes chaste.
True, Prabhuji.
Yeah, but it's nice that you shared this because many times we expect somebody to be loving, but they become very harsh with us. But it may not be the true reflection of what is in their heart, especially those who are very who are loving. So sometimes it can be because of whatever. Sometimes it can be mental confusion. Sometimes it can be galatfahmi, we say, misunderstanding. So all these things can happen. But what we should see is that irrespective of whether it is a mental concoction, mental speculation, or whatever, end of the day, it was all allowed by Krishna.
Mhm.
Krishna has allowed the sincere person to speak like this to us. So when there is a choice for us. We can also shout back. I said, Father, you could also speak like that. Or you can also keep quiet and just say that, okay, whatever it is your thing, it is your independence, your freedom. But I know what I am going to. Because many times what happens to Prabhu, we cannot express ourselves completely to others. This is the reality of life. How much ever we try, we cannot express ourselves to others completely in
Prabhuji,
the
that
right
is
way.
true. That is true. But the thing is, in the end, what she's telling me, and I just flabbergasted. She told me that, you see, because the reason you are quiet, because you know what I'm speaking is the truth. So now, I was thinking, no.
So she concluded. She read the conclusion for her thing also. Fine. Let her think that it is the truth. How does she know? Right?
So
It happens.
I didn't say anything. I said, oh, it's
It's
okay,
like
okay.
Jada Bharat Maharaj. So many things are told to him, but he didn't mind it because he knows what is the real truth. And for
True,
him,
true.
he shut off everything because he knows that in this lifetime, this should be the last for me. I don't want anything else. How does it matter? Somebody is criticizing, somebody is glorifying. Tulya ninda sutir bhavani santushto yena kena chit. Aniketa has tiramatir bhaktiman me priyo, bhaktiman me priyo naraga. Right? So Tulya ninda and stuti, both we should take it equal. That is difficult for us, but when we see it in the right perspective, we can take it easily. We can take it. So this pratika, this is all passive pratika, as I told you. She is contradicting something, whatever she wants to do, but just leave it alone. The best way to counteract a pratikar is by not counteracting.
True.
What happens is, Prabhu, you did a active counteraction by not counteracting her yesterday. I mean, like based on what you are saying, you are keeping quiet, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, after she puts the phone down, we will do passive pratikar in our mind. Why did she say like this? I should have told her this. I should have told her that, etc., etc., etc. That is passive pratikar, and that destroys our devotional service. Instead, you directly blast left, right, and center and come out of it. That also is that is sometimes better. But
So
instead, we are
Prabhuji,
neither able to tell anything to them. But when you're not telling anything to them, you should not churn it in the mind. Oh, how can she say like this? I did this, I did that. I should have said this. Why did I keep quiet? All these kind of things going in the mind. Where is the time for thinking of it?
So Prabhuji,
Still,
what
this
I
is
did basically, to be very honest, what I did is, after she blasted me all that, I took my rounds and I did 2 rounds. I said,
that's the best
Krishna,
thing.
please.
That is the best pratika.
And then, like when I went to sleep, I was so peaceful. I said, yes. Now, at least I did my 2 rounds extra and then I was happy. I said, okay. And, I was
So you
actually.
should also do one more thing. You should thank your youngest daughter that because of your blasting, I did extra 2 rounds.
Yes, I think I
You
better do that.
you write a message to her. You write a message to her, say that thank you so much for blasting me yesterday. I did 2 rounds extra and I had a very peaceful sleep.
That's true. I think I should do that.
She will next time she will not blast you.
I don't know. To be very honest, Proj, I don't know
So
about
this is how
her.
you do pratikriya. In other words, you be thankful. You be thankful to that person. Duryodhana did blast left, right, and center Vidura. But what did Vidura do? With the heart, he thanked him.
Yes,
So thank
that's
you.
true.
Now I can live peacefully. So this is the best thing, Prabhu. You told us the best thing what you did, and now that is the ultimate solution to all these things. Right?
Yeah, true.
Nobody is going to bother. Such a nice discussion. Thank you, Prabhu. Really nice
Thank you.
of you to share that.
Thank you. Because,
It is because
when
of
you were
your
talking, I
experience.
said, oh, yeah, actually, I was getting so much reply to my all inquisitiveness. So that's why I said I better mention to you, because what you were talking makes a lot of sense.
See, either you blast and finish it off right then and there. You have the will and power to do, willpower to do that. Or
Hmm.
you don't do that churning in the mind, because in the mind so much counteraction is going on. Every single day during chanting only all these things come up, isn't it?
Very true.
During some reading and other things, that's when this whole thing comes up. Why did she feel this way? Why did she tell this about it? Then there is no place for bringing Krishna into our lives. It's very difficult, but if we are really looking for the honey, then we have to struggle.
True,
Honey,
true.
you cannot get it easily, right?
Very true.
So let's continue. We stopped at this thing after a while. So let's continue reading these few more slokas. Which one is that? 108 we are there, right? Yeah. This sloka we have repeated it many times. 108. This is where Caitanya Mahaprabhu starts the philosophical response. Jivera Sarupahaya Krishnera Nityadas. That's the sloka, this 108 sloka number. If you open it up, you will see that. Just to switch on the slokas alone, Prabhu. You may be able to see the sloka. Sorry, who was sharing the screen? It, yeah, our text, yes. No, not Bengali, Prabhu. Come down to 108. See that one? So many times we repeat this. No, this is the sloka that Caitanya Mahaprabhu speaks. Tivera Sarupahaya, Krishnera Nityadas. Krishnera Tatastha Shakti, Abeda Beda, Beda Beda. So, and then Surya Shaktirana, Yaiche Agni Jwala Chai, Swabhavika Krishnera Tina Prakash. Can you read this translation?
I'll read, Prabhuji. It is a living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna because he is the marginal energy of Krishna and a manifestation simultaneously one with and different from the Lord. Like a molecular particle of sunshine or fire, Krishna has three varieties of energy.
So he is telling the ultimate truth. Shivera Swarupahaya Krishnera Nityadas. Our eternal constitutional position is a servant of Krishna. Let's 110. Was it Hemati Mataji reading?
Wants to read.
Anyway, you read Gaurav Prabhu, this 110. After that, someone else.
Just as the illumination of a fire, which is situated in one place, is spread all over, the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahman, are spread all over this universe.
So this is the ultimate understanding that everybody and everything is an energy of Krishna. You see Krishna everywhere, then we have no problem at all. No anxiety, no nothing. Okay. Someone wants to read from 111 onwards?
So I can read?
Yes,
Himavati Mataji want to read, Prabhu.
Who wants to read?
Himavati Mataji.
Yes, she wants to read. Okay. Okay.
No, sorry, Prabhuji, I don't want to read. I have a question.
Okay.
Actually, just mentioning in the previous 108, 107 sloka, I think, preaching and propagating you were saying, and then we moved to why Sanatana Goswami was fit and how Arjuna was fit for singing Bhagavad Gita. So you were just mentioning about difference between preaching and propagating. Is there any difference, Prabhuji?
Sorry, preaching and propagating, what is the difference?
Is there a difference between them?
Yeah, the mood, I mean to say, when you say preaching, if I take it in the mood of the other person is having less knowledge, I have more knowledge, so I am superior to him, I should somehow or other give this knowledge to him, that sometimes can be the mood of preaching. Ideally, it should not be the mood of preaching. Ideally, propagating and preaching should be the same. But how we have taken it up is, we are taking preaching as something like, oh, I have more knowledge, I will have to give them the knowledge. So that pride can come in. But propagating means, I am only thinking about distributing Krishna to everyone, that's all. I am not seeing whether somebody is more knowledgeable and less knowledgeable. You see?
Okay.
So there, it's a question of our humility and eagerness to distribute Krishna. So an eagerness to distribute Krishna is a better way to progress in our bhakti path than distributing knowledge out of pride. Preaching out of pride. Preaching means it can include, in our understanding, it can be a, it's actually a service to Krishna. So when we do that, we should not think others to be lower. That is important. It's
Okay.
only actually a preacher will feel thankful, will be thankful to the listener because he has given an opportunity for him to glorify Krishna. If that person is not asked questions, now you are asked questions. This question is, I should thank you because your question has enabled me to glorify Krishna, and that is a process of purifying myself too. If you approach in that perspective, then preaching becomes just a propagation or distributing it, and that will be a way of purifying ourselves.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for that nice question, Mataji. Yeah. Okay, so someone was
Prabhuji,
about to
Hare
read.
Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I have one question. I mean, the discussion which we are doing before this, Hemavati Mataji's question about that if somebody is envious of us, that's what we were discussing. But and we discussed about that. So, but when we are envious about somebody or we have some ill feelings about somebody, then how are we supposed to, I mean, look at it and handle that situation, Prabhu?
So when you identify that I am envious of somebody, that's itself halfway through we are in the solution. Because many times we don't even identify or accept that I am envious. So if I am identifying that yes, I am envious, that itself halfway through in the solution, right? And the next thing that we have to follow is that Bhagavatam gives a very beautiful answer. Can you take 10:144, Prabhu? Tasman Kashashit Roham. Acharya Tata Vidaha. Atmanah Kvema Manvichan, Drobjurvai Paratobhayam. Now, this question that Vasudeva is asking to Kamsa actually here, this is a very interesting thing. We have to, as devotees, as spiritual seekers, whatever, we have to understand that enviousness or impious activities will create one more body in which you have to suffer in the next life. This is the thing we should ask our mind. Do you want to get into? And again, that body will not be a human body. It can be a snake body. It can be a scorpion body, or any body which is enabling us to be even more envious. In this body of human body, we cannot be happily envious. There is a lot of limitation to this envy that we have. Like, for example, when I am envying too much, it creates this acid in our body that it creates ulcer and stomach pain and all those things because of that. Physically, it affects us. Envy and pride, envy and anger, it actually creates that physically that acid, that solution, which burns our body. So it
Yes,
actually
Prabhu.
creates
Yes.
burning, ulcer, and those are different diseases come because of that. That is, this life also we are suffering. On top of it, in the next life also, for our every one who we are envious of, we have to get that many envious body. In the body of snake and scorpion, they have so much poison, but their body is not harmed. But when we create these things, envious thoughts, the body is harmed because of that. That is why I said in this body there is a limitation for our envy. So Krishna says, just like for meat eating, also there's a limitation. He gives, okay, you get a pig body or some tiger body, whatever, where you can freely eat as much as meat you want. Same way, you can get a body of a snake or scorpion or something else, which you can freely be envious. Your body will not struggle because of the envy. So envy actually creates a body in which we are suffering. So this verse is very important. So what Bhagavatam says is that forget about others. Think of your own welfare. Think of your own welfare and think how much you yourself are going to be suffering. And considering that fact, don't envy anyone. First thing is your body is disturbed. Second thing is as soon as you express your envy, from that point onwards, you are creating an enemy in your life. And you will always fear something or other coming from them anytime, both in this life and in the next life. And third thing is you will get another body as a result, a very abominable body to suffer in the next life. So all these problems are there when you are envious. So Bhagavatam cautions us by revealing all these dangers and disadvantages of being envious. So you give the mind these thoughts. When you are already thinking that I am envious, what should I do? Then immediately remember this 10:144. There are quite a few slokas like this which we can say Bhagavatam reveals the negative impacts of being envious. The anxious mind of Krishna will not appear at all. And envious person will always have an envious mind. Chinta Chitasa. Does that help, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Always remember this sloka. It's a beautiful sloka.
This is 10.4, 1.44 or 41?
44, Mataji.
Okay, thank you so much.
So your body is disturbed, your mind is disturbed, you're suffering in this body. Then that person will be harming us. You have to always fear, afraid of that person who you are envious of. And third thing is your next life also will be disturbed. Such will be wrong. Considering all these things, let's say, okay, we cannot love everybody. At least we can not care. We don't hate it.
Prabhuji, one question, one point I want to just say here. Hello.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
That person who is envious, in others, means he is not having compassion on himself, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not having compassion. How many births you have gone through? How many lifetimes you struggled? That compassion is not there at all.
Yeah, so compassion
Be
on,
more envious.
on our own, it's also like one has to be compassionate, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much I should
Be
put my
compassionate.
body
If
to
you can't be compassionate to everyone else, at least be compassionate to yourself.
So
That's why he's saying
people are,
in that verse 10:144, we say, if you go there again, Prabhu. That verse, if you see, considering one's own welfare, you say. Have it, Prabhu, or close to it. Or who is sharing the screen? Anyway, you know that verse, so you can read it. You're right, Suresh. That is the real thing that we all. We should be at least compassionate to ourselves. Now, our Piyush Prabhuji is rightly saying, I was about to quote that verse also. There is a verse where Vishnu also tells to Durvasa that you acted out of self-envy. Because you try to harm a harmless Ambarish Maharaj, now you are created a problem for yourself. No one else is the cause of your problem. You are yourself the cause of the problem. Okay. Now we need to move on a little bit quickly. So now we are in verse number 111 now. We will skip these few slokas where he is talking about the living entities, the three Shaktis, which we all know, the philosophical things we know. Verse 117. Please go to that. This is again another important verse Prabhupada quoted many times. Krishna Bhuri Sei Chiva Anadi Bahirmukha Ateva Maya Tare Deya Sansara. So, who was reading? Yes, Krishnandra. Please go.
Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, please, Prabhu.
Forgetting Krishna, the living entity has been attracted by the external feature from time immemorial. Therefore, the illusory energy, Maya, gives him all the kinds of misery in his material existence.
So forgetting Krishna, forgetting Krishna is our ultimate problem.
Yes.
Somehow or other, we have forgotten Krishna, and we have forgotten that our relationship with Krishna. This is where he is going to speak about in the next few verses. He is going to talk about the Sambandha Vidya Prayojana. We have forgotten our relationship with Krishna. So Sambandha establishes that relationship with Krishna. And we have forgotten what we have to do to Krishna. How do we interact with Krishna? That is again Seva. So that is Abhideya. And we have forgotten our ultimate goal. That is also these three things, our Shastras and all these things, they teach us. So 118, let's read 118.
In the material condition, the living entity is sometimes raised to a higher planetary system and material prosperity, and sometimes drowned in a hellish situation. His state is exactly like that of a criminal whom a king punishes by submerging him in the water and then raising him again and again from water. Sorry, raising him again from the water.
Yeah, so this is how Maya also keeps uh, punishing us. So it's a very nice example that Prabhupada always quotes. Now the next verse is the Bhagavatam verse. Vayam dutiya viniveshatah syat ishadapetasya viparyayo smriti tanmayayato buddha bhajetam bhakyaika yesham gurudeva tatma. Beautiful shloka this is. Vayam dutiya abhiniveshatah syat. Dutiya means something other than Krishna, the second thing. It is separate from Krishna. Abhiniveshatah, we are absorbed in it. Vayam, that we are living entity is afraid, is frightened because of this absorption material achievement. As soon as you, because very simple, when sunlight is there, nobody is worried. But in the evening, when it is dark, we are afraid because we are covered by darkness. So Maya is the darkness, Krishna is the sunlight. So when you are always with Krishna, there is no fear at all. The moment you turn your face away from light and return to darkness, fear is there. Such a beautiful example. Can somebody read this transcription?
When the living entity is attracted by the material energy, which is separate from Krishna, he is overpowered by fear. Because he is separated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the material energy, his conception of life is reversed. In other words, instead of being the eternal servant of Krishna, he becomes Krishna's competitor. This is called viparyayo asmriti. To nullify this mistake, one who is actually learned and advanced worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his spiritual master, worshipful deity, and the source of life. He thus worships the Lord by the process of unalloyed devotional service.
Beautiful. Beautiful. This verse is considered as one of the foremost verse in Bhagavatam. Very beautiful. Okay. Now he is continuing on with the Puranas and the forgetful conditioned souls and all that. But verse number 124. Let's get to 124.
The Vedic literature gives information about the living entity's eternal relationship with Krishna, which is called Sambandha. The living entity's understanding of this relationship and his acting accordingly is called Abhideya. Returning home back to Godhead is the ultimate goal of life and is called Prayojana. Beautiful.
So these three things are so beautiful, na? These three things are all through the Vedic scriptures. These three things are only there. That is why we have Radha Madan Mohan Sambandha Vigraha, then Radha Gopinath Abhideya, Radha Govinda Devas Prayojana, or whichever is right. So like that we always have this things. That's such a beautiful thing. These three things: Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. With these three only, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu convinces the Prakashan and the Saraswati and co. Their in person this also. Okay, next one.
Devotional service or the sense activity for the satisfaction of the Lord is called Abhideya, because it can develop one's original love of Godhead, which is the goal of life. This goal is the living entity's topmost interest and greatest wealth, as one attains the platform of transcendental loving service unto the Lord.
Now he's going to tell a beautiful story to explain this point. Please continue, Prabhuji.
Next, when one attains the transcendental base of an intimate relationship with Krishna, he renders service to him and tests the mellows of Krishna consciousness.
So that is how the service is always rendered. Okay, let's go to the next one.
The following
He's
parable
going to
may
take
be,
a nice little paradox.
the following parable may be given. Once a learned astrologer came to the house of a poor man and, seeing his distressed condition, questioned him. The astrologer asked, "Why are you unhappy? Your father was very wealthy, but he did not disclose his wealth to you because he died elsewhere." Just as the words of the astrologer Sarvajana gave news of the poor man's treasure, the Vedic literature's advise one about Krishna's consciousness when one is inquisitive to know why he is in distressed material condition. By the words of the astrologer, the poor man's connection with the treasure was established. Similarly, the Vedic literature advises that our real connection is with Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So now it's very interesting. This person's father died, and he was thinking he has not left anything for him. So the astrologer is telling, no, he has left treasure for you. He becomes happy. Now he knows that some treasure is there for me. But how to dig that treasure? Where is that treasure? That is the question. You got it? Yeah. So that is where the beautiful parable that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling. Please continue.
Although being assured of his father's treasure, the poor man cannot acquire the treasure by such knowledge alone. Therefore, the astrologer had to inform him of the means whereby he could actually find the treasure. The astrologer said, "The treasure is in this place. But if you dig towards the southern side, the webs and the drones will rise, and you will not get your treasure. If you dig on the western side, there is a ghost who will create such a disturbance that your hands will not even touch the treasure. If you dig on the northern side, there is a big black snake that will devour you if you attempt to dig up the treasure. However, if you dig up a small quantity of dirt on the eastern side, your hands will immediately touch that part of treasure."
It's a beautiful thing. No? So he's telling the treasure is there, it's here, but where to dig is also, how to dig, where to dig also the astrologer. This is what how spiritual must also teaches us. Now this purport tells the subtle meaning behind this east and western sides and all. Anybody would like to read this? Maybe? I don't know who wants to read. Prabhu,
I will read, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. You want to read, Prabhu?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. I will.
The Vedic literature, including the Puranas, state that according to the position of the conditioned soul, there are different processes: Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, the yogic process, and the Bhakti Yoga process. Karma Kanda is compared to wasps and drones that will simply bite if one takes shelter of them. Jnana Kanda, the speculative process, is simply like a ghost who creates mental disturbance. Yoga, the mystic process, is compared to a black snake that devours people by impersonal cultivation. Cultivation of Kaivalya. However, if one takes to Bhakti Yoga, he becomes quickly successful. In other words, through Bhakti Yoga, one's hand touch the hidden treasure without difficulty.
Nice. If someone else can read the next next paragraph. Thank you, Steve, to read one of the longer one. Who else wants to?
I'll read, Prabhuji. Can I
Yes,
read?
Mataji. Please, Mataji.
Okay, the goal of all the relieved scriptures and the Vedic injunctions is Krishna, as he himself says in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Vedaischa sarver aham eva vedo. Since the Vedas enjoin one to search out of Krishna and take shelter at his lotus feet, and since no Vedic process but devotional service will enable one to do this, one has to take devotional service. According to Bhagavad Gita 18.55, only the bhakti process is said to be definitive. Bhaktya mam avijanati. This is the conclusive statement of the Vedas, and one has to accept this process if one is serious in searching for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this connection, Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives the following statement: the eastern side represents devotional service to the Lord Krishna. The southern side represents the process of fruitive activity, karma kand, which ends in material gain. The western side represents Gyan Kand, the process of mental speculation, or sometimes Siddhi Kand, the mystic yoga system. The northern side represents mystic yoga or sometimes the speculative method. It is only the eastern side devotional service that enables one to attain life's real goal. On the southern side, there are fruitive activities by which one is subjected to the punishment of Yamraj. When one follows the system of fruitive activity, his material desires remain prominent. Consequently, the results of this process are compared to wasp and drones. The living entity is bitten by the wasp and drones of fruitive activity and thus suffers in material existence birth after birth. One cannot become free from material desires by following this process. The propensity for material enjoyment never ends. Therefore, the cycle of birth and death continues and the spirit soul suffers perpetually.
Mm.
The,
Next
the
one,
mystic
someone. Okay, you go ahead, Madhu. Looks like
the
Goswami.
mystic yoga the mystic yoga process is compared to a black snake that devours the living entity and injects him with poison. The ultimate goal of the yoga system is to become one with the absolute. This means finishing one's personal existence. But the spiritual part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead has an eternal individual existence. The Bhagavad Gita confirms that the individual soul exists in the past, is existing in the present, and will continue to exist as an individual in the future. Artificially trying to become one with the Absolute is suicidal. One cannot annihilate his natural condition. A yaksh, a yaksha, a protector of riches, will not allow anyone to take away riches for enjoyment. Such a demon will simply create disturbances. In other words, a devotee will not depend on his material resources, but on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can give real protection. This is called Rakshityati Vishwasa, or in Bengali poetry of Bhaktivinoda Thakur Shanagriti, Avasya Rakhibe Krishna. Vishwasa Palana. The surrendered soul must accept the fact that his real protector is Krishna, not his material acquisitions. Considering all these points, devotional service to Krishna is the real treasure house for living entity. When one comes to the platform of devotional service, he always remains opulent in the association of Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is bereft of devotional service is swallowed by the black snake of the yoga system and bitten by the wasp and drones of fruitive activity, and he suffers consequent material miseries. Sometimes the living entity is misled into trying to merge into spiritual existence, thinking himself as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This means that when he comes to the spiritual platform, he will be disturbed and will again return to material platform. According to Srimad Bhagavad Gita 10.2.
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.32.
केन्द्रेरुन्दाक्षविमुक्तमानिनः स्वस्यस्तभावादभिशुद्धबुद्धयः आरुह्य कृच्छ्रेण परं पदं ततः पतन्त्यध्वनादृतैष्णुदङ्ग्रयः.
Such people may become sannyasis, but unless they take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, they will return to material platform to perform philanthropic activities. In this way, one's spiritual life is lost. This is to be understood as being devoured by the snake bite. Black
Right.
snake.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Madhu. So, yeah, we will read only another a few more slokas, and then we will end. Shall we continue reading? Anyone else wants to read, or otherwise, Manasaki Mataji, you can continue. Translations. I
Okay,
think
Prabhuji.
I think Gaurav stopped scrolling. It's in 135. It's after 2 to 5. You continue reading, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. 136. The revealed scriptures conclude that one should give up fruitive activity, speculative knowledge, and the mystic yoga system, and instead take to devotional service by which Krishna can be fully satisfied. 137. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna said, My dear Uddhava, neither through Ashtanga Yoga, the mystic yoga system to control the senses, nor through impersonal monism, or an analytical study of the absolute truth, nor through study of the Vedas, nor through austerities, charity, or acceptance of sannyas, one can satisfy me as much as by developing unalloyed devotional service unto me.
So this is a shloka which is quoted from Bhagavatam.
Yes, Prabhuji. It's written 11.14.20 and 21.
11, 14, 20, 21.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhu. Yes, we can hear you.
I think Prabhuji is not able to hear us.
No, I was changing because the battery was running down in my Bluetooth, so I was changing and I was not able to. Now I think. Yeah, please, let's continue reading the next couple of verses. Next one is also Bhagavatam only. 138.
Being very dear to the devotees and sadhus, I am attained through unflinching faith and devotional service. This Bhakti Yoga system, which gradually increases attachment for me, purifies even a human being born among dog eaters. That is to say, everyone can be elevated to the spiritual platform by the process of Bhakti Yoga. Prabhuji, I have a question over here.
Yes.
Should I
Yes,
read
ma'am.
over?
Please.
You might have discussed it earlier, but I want to know, Prabhuji, because there are many people, like we read recently right now, that Jnana-kand and Karma-kand, how they are all compared to different vamps and snakes. But Prabhuji, when we see others doing that, we know that in Bhagavad Gita there is written that these paths will take a longer time to reach bhakti. Bhakti is a simpler process to. So
Simpler process.
yes.
And
So how can how can we should look upon them? I mean, we should not think that we are superior and they are inferior. That also we have studied.
That is why Prabhupada always said this point, right? He always said that you always see yourself as just one thing is you think that you realize that you are fortunate and they are not fortunate. It's not that you are better and they are not better. That is a different wrong way of looking at it. But if you see you are fortunate and they are not yet fortunate, you are lucky. You are not qualified, but you are just lucky and the others are not yet lucky. So when you are lucky, you feel that hey, I want to bring that luck to them also, make them also fortunate. So there won't be any higher, lower, and all. See, when I say fortunate, what does it mean? I am not qualified, but I don't deserve, but I am getting some benediction, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Right.
There we won't have that one-upmanship concept. I am better than you, holier than thou, like that. That will not happen. Because I am just one. I just always have to think that I don't deserve it at all, but still somehow or other Krishna or somebody has given me. Then we will be able to give it freely to others.
We also know that in past lives we would have done some pious activities that today we are into Krishna consciousness. We can't neglect that part also.
See that is true, but that past life, whatever we are doing, is not enough to give such a great treasure. It's like you are buying ₹1 lottery ticket and then you are getting $1 million thing. Means then means it's like you have just done whatever little bit of Ajnata Sukriti you must have done, but that doesn't qualify you to attain this the greatest treasure of devotional service. There is nothing. It's like they will say just giving a rotten lemon and asking for an entire treasure house of gold. These both are not equal, no? So even if you have done some Ajnata Sukriti, how do we know that the other person has not done the Ajnata Sukriti? He might have also done. It's just that it has not been fructified. The time has not come for fructification. Correct? So we can think like
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes,
And
Prabhuji.
another point is that another point also is that you see one more thing that many times we see that there are devotees or there are people who are enjoying much more than us. We would have become devotees and still we will see so many people enjoying. But you just preach to them a little bit, right? But within a short time, they will become completely convinced about Krishna consciousness and take it so much far that they will surpass you in the preaching or any of the services. You would have only preached to them, but they would be doing much more than us. How is it possible? Because they might have come later to this path, but then their Tivra Bhakti is so forceful that they get a better, they become very even more intense. Their service becomes even more intense and they go much faster. So we cannot sit on the laurels of our Ajnata Sukriti, whatever we might have done, our fortune and all those things. That is, frankly speaking, not to think about those things is better. If we don't think about those things, we can move faster. Now, once we start thinking about all those things, oh, I did this, that way I did this, so we keep on thinking about our past for good things only, then our bhakti will be very shallow. We can think about our past. Prabhupada writes beautifully in one purport. We can think about our past, but that is only to think how much we were rotting in this material world, and Krishna has pulled us out of that gutter and brought us to this such a wonderful path. Such nice, such great mercy that he has given. That way you can think. But you cannot say that hey, I went there, I went here, I did this building, that building. That will not help us. Anasati Mataji, you're on mute.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, yes.
So always
Yeah.
think of our own undeserving nature and undeserving state, and never be judgmental about others, because others will do Krishna. We don't know. They will be just like that in front of us. Suddenly they will become very nice devotees like us. So we should never ridicule them or make them. Judgeable. Srila Mata is asking a question. I think before that, Piyush was asked the question. I don't know when he asked, just now maybe. It is the causeless mercy of devotees only. Devotees can transfer bhakti, which is in their heart, to our heart, not any pious activity which produces only temporary material things. You are absolutely right, Piyush Prabhu. It's the best way to think. Because the moment I start thinking about my Ajnata Sukriti, then I don't give credit to others. I give credit to myself for whatever devotion taste that I have. So this is the best way to approach bhakti. And Krishna likes such an attitude also. When we don't give credit to ourselves, but we give credit to everyone else. Radharani gives credit to everyone else. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu was told, oh, you are Supreme Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. He said, no, 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 don't unnecessarily waste your time, all these things. Just chant Hare Krishna, chant the glories of Hari. That is the best thing. And like that, he always detaches himself from the whatever the credit that was given. He gives all the credit to everyone else. And Sri Devath is asking, some of the people in other paths may be more advanced in their path than we are in Bhakti Yoga. Can we think like this? Yes, there may be. That is a good way of understanding also. That way we will be humble. We will not unnecessarily put ourselves in one step higher. Bhakti yoga path is higher. That is the purest form. But whether we are doing the bhakti yoga process properly or not is a question, which only Krishna and Guru knows the answer. We don't know. If we truly introspect, we will know. But if we don't have the true introspection, then we will not know. So it is always that somebody or other, they will always have something good given by them. And so they are definitely doing something nice. So when we always appreciate good in others, then Krishna will give us the opportunity to pierce through their hearts. When I see others as bad, oh, he is a fool, he is a nonsense, he is this, he is that. Whatever we say, Krishna will not allow that to enter into their hearts. Because Paramatma is living in everybody's heart. Krishna doesn't judge people like that. So if we judge, how will he allow us to reach to them or convince them? So it's a very good point, Masi. Thank you for that. Okay, I wanted to come to this very important shloka set. So questions are done. Maybe can we continue on? Just a few more.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mati.
Prabhuji, I'm sorry. For somehow my screen seems to be stuck at text 135. Is the screen moving actually?
No, it is not moving. Yeah, I was also seeing Prabhuji has probably gone to 10 to something maybe. I think Gaurav Prabhu was sharing the screen. It's just stuck there. So I would suggest that you please open database in your own systems and
sure.
follow that way. I am
Sure,
following from my
Prabhuji.
book, so that's what is.
Prabhuji,
wants to
which
read?
text number?
Text number. Which one we were in? 138 we read. 139 we have to read.
Thanks, Prabhuji.
Who wants to read?
Mary Prabhuji.
Yes, bro. Maybe someone else can share also. If you are active in your laptop, you can also share. One of you want to share, then you can take over.
Actually, at my background and a holy celebration, there is a lot of noise. I don't know when noise will come.
Yeah.
I will read.
You carry on. You read, bro. No, you read.
139. We have to read only this translation. Huh?
Yes, bro. Only translation.
The conclusion is that devotional service is the only means for approaching the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This system is therefore called Abhideya. This is the verdict of all revealed scriptures. When one actually becomes rich, he naturally enjoys all kinds of happiness. When one is actually in a happy mood, all distressful conditions go away by themselves. No extraneous endeavor is needed.
Yeah, see, it's a beautiful point. When actually becomes rich, he naturally enjoys all kinds of happiness. So when you become devotee, becoming rich means become a devotee. Then you are a happy mood. No distress comes to you. No extraneous endeavor is needed to drive away the. Prabhu, you put it in. Whoever is sharing, please put it in advanced mode, so you don't have to go every verse. Please continue, everybody.
Similarly, as a result of bhakti, one's dormant love for Krishna awakens. When one is so situated that he can taste the association of Lord Krishna, material existence, the repetition of birth and death comes to an end. The goal of love of Godhead is not to become materially rich or free from material bondage. The real goal is to be situated in devotional service to the Lord and to enjoy transcendental bliss. In the Vedic literature, Krishna is the central point of attraction, and his service is our activity. To attain the platform of love of Krishna is life's ultimate goal. Therefore, Krishna's service, and love of Krishna are the three great riches of life.
What are the three things? Krishna, Krishna Bhakti, Prema. Tina Mahadana. Veda Shastra kahe Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan. All the Vedas and Shastras only talk about Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan. And Krishna, Krishna Bhakti, Prema. Tina Mahadana. Krishna Bhakti here refers to Prabhupada referring towards devotional service, seva. So Krishna, Krishna's service and love of Krishna. These are the great riches. We have to think of the great riches, the three great riches that we have. These are the three great riches. Please continue, Prabhu.
In all revealed scriptures, beginning with the Vedas, the central point of attraction is Krishna. When complete knowledge of him is realized, the bondage of Maya, the illusory energy, is automatically broken. There are many types of Vedic literatures and supplementary Puranas. In each of them, there are particular demigods who are spoken of as the chief demigods. This is just to create an illusion for moving and non-moving living entities. Let them perpetually engage in such imaginations. However, when one analytically studies all these Vedic literatures collectively, he comes to the conclusion that Lord Vishnu is the one and only Supreme Personality of Godhead.
When I studies all these Vedic literatures, collectively he comes to the conclusion that Lord Vishnu is the one and only Supreme Personality. They may come to Nishpannam Deyu Narayanaspada. That's also another shloka is there. All of the Sarva Shastrani Vicharya Punah. They may come to Nishpannam Deyu Narayanaspada. 146.
When one accepts the Vedic literature by interpretation or even by dictionary meaning, directly or indirectly, the ultimate declaration of Vedic knowledge points to Lord Krishna.
Now comes this verse, Prabhu, 147 and 148. These are actually Bhagavatam verses which Shri Krishna quotes so beautifully. In this, he clearly establishes what is the purpose of our scriptures, what is the purpose of our Vedas and everything. Kim vidatte kim achatte kim manodhya vikalpayet ityasya hrudayam loke nanyo madveda kashana mam vidatte abhidatte mam vikalpyo vikalpya pohyate ityaham एतावान् सर्ववेदार्थः शब्द आस्थाय मां विदां माया मात्रम् अनुध्यान्ते प्रतिषिध्य प्रसीदति. Read the translation.
Lord Krishna said, what is the purpose of all Vedic literatures? On whom do they focus? Who is the object of all speculation? Outside of me, no one knows these things.
Krishna is saying, I only know all these things. No one else knows. So when I tell only, you can understand.
Now you should know that all these activities are aimed at ordaining and setting forth me. The purpose of the Vedic literature is to know me by different speculations, either by indirect understanding or by dictionary understanding. Everyone is speculating about me. The essence of all Vedic literature is to distinguish me from Maya. By considering the illusionary energy, one comes to the platform of understanding me. In this way, one becomes free from speculation about the Vedas and come to me as the conclusion. Thus, one is satisfied.
So this is a translation that is given here. Proper written this. See, in a simple way, he will explain this in the purport to see that. Kim idatte, kim achaste, kim anodhya vikalpaye. These three things represent karma kanda, jnana kanda, upasana kanda. You please read the purport, Prabhu.
These two verses are quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 11, 21, 42 and 43. When Uddhav asked Krishna about the purpose of Vedic speculation, the Lord informed him of the process of understanding the Vedic literature. The Vedas are composed of Karma Kand, Jnana Kand and Upasana Kand. One who analytically studies the purpose of the Vedas understands that by Karma Kand, sacrificial activity, one comes to the conclusion of Jnana Kand, speculative knowledge. And that after speculation, one comes to the conclusion that worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate. When one comes to this conclusion, he becomes fully satisfied.
This is the point. So beginning with Karma Kanda, then you go to Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda means you do these things. Jnana Kanda means how do you do these things. And why do you do this? And then Upasana Kanda is okay. This is the connection. This is the ultimate. You may want to worship some demigods. You want to attain good health. You worship Surya Bhagwan. How do you worship? That is Upasana Kanda. Your knowledge about Surya Bhagwan, that is there in the Jnana Kanda. So like this, it keeps on going. Ultimately, it reaches to the point where for all these things, ultimately, Krishna is the ultimate source. So that was what Krishna is revealing this beautifully in this three shlokas. The beautiful shloka, this shloka. It clearly explains what is there in the Vedas. So So next with the next two slokas we will end. Because after this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will start explaining the beautiful form of the Lord. Those things we will probably discuss another time. In the interest of time. Please continue 49 people.
The transcendental form of Lord Krishna is unlimited and also has unlimited opulence. He possesses the internal potency, external potency, and marginal potency. Please raise it. Please raise it. The material and the spiritual world are transformations of Krishna's external and internal potencies, respectively. Therefore, Krishna is the original source of both the material and the spiritual manifestations.
Yeah, with that we will end today the reading. So, just to give you a little idea, see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has just started explaining things. In fact, it will go into even more deeper as we discuss further. These things, these teachings to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, these are so intense and deep that from this only all the wonderful knowledge that was revealed by these two great acharyas have come out, and the subsequent acharyas as well. So this knowledge is very deep. We won't be able to understand fully or to the extent it is being revealed. But by sincerely chanting, sincere conviction, and in the association of sincere seeking devotees, sincere knowledge seeking devotees, we will be able to appreciate and relish this thing. So nice logical thing is there, that a story which he gave beautifully about the pressure is there, the father is there, but then the son, if he has to take advantage, the astrologer is giving him, the spiritual master is giving him where to get that help. So the astrologer is compared to the spiritual master. The treasure is that bhakti. We are all searching for the ultimate happiness, ultimate bliss. The only way we can get is by following the orders of the spiritual master, instructions of the spiritual master strictly, and that goes without saying. And such nice, beautiful slokas, beautiful concept, beautiful Bhagavatam slokas. That is why Chaitanya Charitamrita is a condensed form of Bhagavatam actually. Because when you see Bhagavatam, whatever important, most important slokas are there, they are in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because the devotees discuss, when they discuss, they quote Bhagavata slokas, which are really the essence of all our bhakti philosophy. So stop here. Any questions, comments, anything from devotees before we close for the day?
Prabhuji, Bhakti Yoga is the most precious and most searched after the yoga. That is ultimate thing. But that one discovers after so many all searching all this, and at the end you will find the bhakti. But Prabhupada, by compassion, he has given it in the first counter only on immediately he has given it to us that we need not search, go after Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Upasana Kanda. He is so merciful that my devotees should not suffer searching all this, and at the end they should discover it. So he is so merciful that he said, "Come on, please take it. I am giving it all my research. I am giving it to that. This is the most ultimate precious. Take it free. I am giving it free," like that.
Imagine if that man did not have the astrologer with him. He would have dug everywhere, and he would have got the snake and wasp and everything out. Because the astrologer is telling him, go only on the eastern side, just by digging with your hand only you can get the treasure. And that is how devotional service is. If Srila Prabhupada has not given us this glorious process, simplest thing of Hare Krishna mantra, and then the Shastras, association of devotees, Prasadam, festivals like Gaura Purnima, Janmashtami, Rath Yatra and all, we would have been also loitering without understanding any beginning and end of our research.
I would have got stuck
research ends here.
We would have got stuck up in some sense gratification somewhere in the corner of the world.
Yeah, some corner we are doing something. Imagine sitting for 2 hours and reading, we didn't even realize that it's going. And fasting also, I don't think you would have realized that you are fasting also.
Yes.
It's reading.
Thank you for your kind association and encouragement to read this verse, wonderful reads.
No problem. It's my blessing. I always consider all of your association as the greatest blessing I have. If not of you, for you all. No, these are all such amazing writings, and Prabhupada has compiled such deep message. In fact, we just rush through the translations. If you sit through each and every word, it will go deeper and deeper. And frankly speaking, very few people are taking advantage of Prabhupada's books. And we are really thankful that Prabhupada has brought us all together somehow or other to relish this very deep subject matter that he has given to us. We need to bring this light enlightenment to as many souls as possible, so that our life is not going to be on the shallow surface only. That I go here, I go to the temple, say Hare Krishna, and meet some devotees, say Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, and have some prasadam and come back. That is long ago. Like, maybe okay for a new piece, but when we are there for a while in our Krishna consciousness, we should be interested to dig deeper, like how that pressure is there. So we have to dig and get the pressure out. Thank you so much, Prabhu. And thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji. Wish you all a very, very happy Gaura Purnima. We'll stop here. Krishna willing, we will continue. Sansalpati Prabhu, you have something to say?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, sorry, last moment I'm asking, and just last sentence which you have spoken that we have to take benefit of this Srila Prabhupada book. Now, when we are studying with you or in association, we are getting we are releasing the Bhagavatam. But as we read it alone at our home, we are not getting that interest, and we are not. I'm saying about myself that I'm not that much particular regular in reading also. In association, I'm reading with you. It is going on, but otherwise, I'm not finding it possible for me to do it.
No, Prabhu,
lacking in me only.
No. You just don't know your potential, but it's just that you don't feel like that. Just keep doing it. See, I can say the same thing for myself too. That when I used to read with my spiritual master or a few other students where we used to discuss deep. From that, comparatively, if I have to say, I am not able to give you even 10% of what I got from them. But personally, what I feel is that whatever we get is okay for now. Krishna will keep increasing of our account balance as we keep doing. This is a process which needs patience and perseverance. It will not come overnight. And I never imagined in 1998 or so, when I was sitting with these fresh sannyasis, I would end up reading Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. I would end up getting taste of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So since those days when I was getting that slowly the taste again and again, trying to churn over it, it's such a nice thing they have given us, Prabhu. There's nothing to glorify about our ways and all that. It's just that Krishna is giving us an opportunity to come together. That's all. Take it that way, and you will definitely, with Krishna, continue to bless us. Only thing is that patience and perseverance in this path, especially in the study of Prabhupada's books, this service, we need a lot of patience and perseverance. We should not do like technical analytical study. If we get into that mood, then it will become a dry philosophy. But we should do it with a mood of relishing Prabhupada's books with their ultimate gratitude to Prabhupada for giving us all these translated scriptures with so much difficulty, with so much sacrifice. So every moment, Prabhu, if you remember Prabhupada's sacrifice, Prabhupada's mercy, Prabhupada's benevolence, his broad heart, then automatically these things will become more and more tasty, Prabhu. So that is the only thing that we need. We don't need all the gymnastics of technical analysis and all. I don't have any such thing. But when we are reading, we are so happy. Sanatana Goswami has given so much nectar in the last 2 days. How he is renouncing, how now we will know when we go to Sanatana Goswami Samadhi with this background, we will want to do some more renunciation ourselves. When we sit and chant there, or when we want to do some seva there, you see, or you go and take darshan of his bhajan putter in the parikrama, we will be even more grateful to them. That is why reading these scriptures is not just to gain some knowledge. Now we got to know how much merciful is Caitanya Mahaprabhu, how much devoted is Sanatana Goswami, how much devoted is Rupa Goswami. This is how we should increase our gratitude more and more. Prabhu. And thankfully, Krishna's mercy, we have a nice Sangha where we are all coming together for glorification of Krishna. We should be very thankful to Krishna for bringing us all together. Prabhu. Don't worry about all these other things. Patience and perseverance will automatically bring it. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your nice thing. I know how much seva you do, how much
Thank you,
hard work
Prabhuji.
you do, all of you do. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji, what is
Wish you all a
technical
very happy
analytical
Gaur
study?
Purnima. Sorry,
What is
Prabhu.
technical analytic study?
Sorry, Prabhu.
What is technical analytic study?
Technical analytical means I just want to nitpick between this, that, and I dry speculation, Prabhu. I leave the humility, gratitude, and those things apart, and I only see, okay, Sanatana Goswami has gone here. Okay, where did he go there? Like more of an information point of view, Prabhu. It's more of trying to gather information. You see, it's not about instruction, it's about information. So we should not get into the data points, the information points. We should get into transformation mode. How do we get transformed by hearing about Sanatana Goswami? How do we get transformed by hearing about Swarup Damodar Goswami? Like that, we should have a bhavik attitude towards it. You understand? Bhavik. It will be bhavik towards this.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Otherwise, we tend to see, okay, how far is Mathura from Vrindavan, or how many temples are there, like, or the data point of view. Understand what I'm saying? Like, I only see from a data point of view. This many times we do this many times. So, looking into the externals of it. But internalization is like you understand the motive, mood behind Sanatana Goswami, mood behind Rupa Goswami, mood behind Raghunath Goswami. Like that, we understand from each of the pure devotees what is their motive, what is their mood behind them. That is really sweet to meditate on. So much is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, so much is there in Bhagavatam. Right? That's the thing, Prabhu. When you go leave this motive part aside and only look into the externals, thing, data points and information, then that is technical stuff. That we don't want. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So we stop here, Prabhu's Mataji's. Krishna will catch up next Saturday with Narad Muni, glorification of Narad Muni. I wish you all a very, very happy Gaurav Purnima. Please enjoy the day, glorifying Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Simply appeared to give us the
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you
special
so
of the
much.
holy name and Bhagavatam. We'll stop here and Krishna will connect again.
Happy Gaur Purnima, Prabhuji.